So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another edition of the RGM Experience podcast with me, Carl Maloney, that guy from RGM, bothering you again for another episode of the Music Industry Podcast. A podcast, ladies and gentlemen, where we delve into the grassroots music industry and beyond and find interesting people within it. And today's no different, ladies and gentlemen. Today, we've got Ava Valianti, all the way over from America, joining us today to have a little chat. Morning, mate.
Hi, it's great to see you.
Yeah, you too, mate. And the time difference is a thing, isn't it? It took us a while to. The clocks went back in England recently, so I'm trying to figure out the time differences and things and all that kind of stuff. But and I know it's really early for you, so thanks for joining us today, mate.
Yeah, no worries.
Yeah,
Happy to
brilliant.
be here.
Oh, good on you, good on you. So what I've been really, because we're going to be shouting about your new EP on RGM, and as this interview comes out, we'll have already premiered your latest video. And while I was setting up the premiere on the website, I was just having a look on your YouTube channel. You've got hundreds of thousands of views on there, which I was really surprised about. Well, not really surprised because I know you're talented, but um, as someone so young, how have you built up this massive following apart from just being ace?
I mean, I think that for me, it's all really about just like consistency. Is that really has
Yeah.
been that's been the key for me is just constantly posting content and also constantly posting different types of content that I think will reach different audiences
Mm.
have really been helpful for how to promote my music. And I don't know, just putting out music that I really feel like is cohesive with what I am and who I am so I can promote it authentically has really been for me the key of what has gained success. And it's super wild to kind of see the impact it has in the audience that I've kind of garnered from it because it's super shocking and I don't even know what to do with it half the time. It's so exciting.
No, I love it. And YouTube's an interesting place. We have all these videos out on YouTube, and I was looking into the back end of YouTube. I find the stats and stuff quite interesting, where it tells you where people are that are watching your stuff and all that kind of stuff. Then it gives you loads of information, like too much, really. It's hard to work out all that information that you've got access to on YouTube. One thing I found interesting, though, that the people watching our videos are only 10% of them subscribe. So,
Whoa.
so if you're watching this, ladies and gentlemen, give us a subscribe. There's a link in the description to Ava's music as well. Subscribe to Ava's channel, and I just found that kind of stat quite interesting. Really, it's
Mhm.
it's hard to. What's the hardest thing for you on YouTube? I just find it difficult um, to get people to get on board sometimes with the
Mhm.
basics of social media, following and clicking your links and getting involved with the music and having your own projects. It's not an easy thing to do, is it?
No, yeah, I'd say for all social media, for me, the hardest thing is to kind
Yeah,
of cut through the noise because
yeah,
I feel like sometimes you're just like screaming into a void,
yeah,
especially because even if sometimes the video gets the success you want, sometimes it doesn't get the audience you want. And then
yeah,
you're like, that's really tough. How do I pivot from there? And, what kind of are you looking for? Are you looking for followers? Are you looking for likes? Are you looking for it's a whole kind of thing. And
yeah,
it's super confusing for me still. Like I feel like
yeah.
part of me still hasn't like fully even grasped how to truly like use social media to my advantage yet, but I'm learning as I go.
Yeah.
It's music first, content second, but I really I love learning about it. It's super tough though to kind of, cut through the noise and, be heard a little bit.
It is, isn't it? It's something you've kind of got to do social media. But
Mhm.
you mentioned it there, music first. It's got to be about the tunes first, on it first and foremost. So it's so do you mind me asking your age at the minute, Ava?
I'm 16 years old.
16. So you've got the world at your feet, ready to go. You're building up this platform. You're bringing out your songs, and what's it been like as a teenager for yourself, building a career in music? What's life like around you, and talk us through what it's like.
I mean, yeah, it's really wild. I'm actually at school right now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'd say I mean, it's all kind of about the balance. I love having a foot in both worlds at this point in my life, but obviously if opportunities ever were to arise in music, like I that's that's my favorite thing. That's my passion, it's my everything. But it is really funny to kind of be in school and be taking algebra and then also like be writing songs in class and just like I feel like it's a crazy balance, but I love making it work. And
Mm.
everyone at my school and everyone in my life is just really, really accepting and kind. And I couldn't ask for a better community surrounding me. So I feel really grateful that I have the opportunity to do both. And it's a crazy time for me right now to kind of do both things. And it's very busy, but it's super worth it. And so, yeah, I love every second of it. I don't know.
Well, I really so you're actually at school now.
hmm
So how's that work out? Because I've never spoke to anybody that's actually at school. They're usually at home when we do a podcast or something. But you're actually there. How's that work mechanically?
Yeah, we I have a guitar club that I run in 30 minutes ish, like
Ah,
45
yeah,
minutes maybe down the line. And
yeah.
then I have a few classes and then I have my rehearsal for my show. But
Wow.
yeah, right now I'm just in a little practice room in my art space and yeah, I don't know. I'm going to be doing a bio project today. So definitely not fun. Um, I mean, but yeah, I love kind of just being able to like utilize my school in ways like this and like other ways, you know. So I feel like it's really funny just kind of be doing both at the same time.
Nice. Well, sometimes in England, when you're a bit of a creative, when you're a bit different to everybody else out there, people can be kind of quite harsh on that in a school environment.
Mhm.
What has that? Have you ever felt that like being a bit different and people talk about you different? That's Ava over there. She does music. Did you
Mhm.
ever get that kind of reaction from people around you?
Like, yeah, I'd say more in my old school than this one
Right.
because I feel like that was more of an environment that felt a little ostracizing for kind of
Mm.
standing out. But I came here specifically because I kind of wanted to like stand out and kind of figure out who I was
Yeah.
individually as well as part of a community. And I'd say that like there's always going to be people like that. And it is definitely isolating to, put out music at a school, but people are very, very kind about it. And I just couldn't ask for, better friends and better family members. And
Yeah.
it's really great.
So where is home for you then? Where you're from? Tell us about where you're from and your environment around you growing up.
Yeah, I'm from Newbury, Massachusetts, which is about an hour outside of Boston, and I go to school in North Andover, which is again another small town in kind of the North Shore. And yeah, I've grown up there since I was a kid, born and raised in Massachusetts with my mom, my dad, my brother, and my dogs, and they're like my favorite people in the world. And yeah, they're just super supportive and we're just a super tight-knit family and I'm glad that they've supported me on my journey so
Yeah,
far, which
nice
is
one.
really great.
Well, is John Cena from where you're from?
Yeah, John Cena's where we're from. John Krasinski is where we're from.
Oh, right.
Chris Evans. Like, there's a bunch of like famous people.
Yeah.
Joe Keery, I love his music so much, and he's from my town.
Mm.
And so I'm praying someday I get to meet him. I'm waiting for the day I'm gonna bum it down on the street and be like, "It's you! Oh my God! Oh my gosh! Yeah, it's crazy how many people are from Massachusetts. You
Yeah.
never know.
Well, I only mentioned John Cena because he followed RGM on Twitter for some reason.
That's so fun.
Which I know I just found that really a bit random and I don't know I don't know if he still does but I knew he was from there just from liking wrestling through the years and stuff and
hmm
you hear in Massachusetts it sounds like from anybody in the UK they're quite kind of fascinated by American culture,
hmm
not necessarily politics at the minute but
Yeah.
we're not going to go down that route. I don't think, Ava, unless you wanted to, or if you had any opinions on it.
Oh gosh, too many opinions to talk about right now. I mean, oh my
Yeah,
gosh.
okay, fair enough. Yeah, we'll leave that one then, mate. We'll leave that one. But yeah, it does seem like a magical place, America, particularly the history of the music and that kind of stuff. And I know England's had a big impact on American music as well. The music that we've sent over there through the years. How do you feel? Where do you sit, and where's your genre, and where's your comfort zone within music yourself?
I mean, I feel for me it's an ever-changing question
Yeah,
because I feel like if you were to ask me about a year ago, I'd be like, I am indie pop and that's my
yeah,
genre and
yeah,
that's where I stop. And now I'm kind of like I'd like to explore like some more type of rock or jazz or folk.
mm,
I'd like to kind of get into those genres a little bit more, but I feel like that's also just because everything I hear, I'm like, oh, I want to do that. Oh,
yeah,
that sounds so good. Oh, I love it. So
yeah.
I feel like I would love to really explore the pop rock genre next. That's kind of
Yeah.
my next like thing that I'm really excited to pursue. I mean, my heart, I'm always going to be a pop girly at heart. I love my pop. I love those moments. I feel like it's so fun, but I want to just try and expand my range as much as I can and just try as much out as I can, because if that's not being an artist, then what is, you know?
Yeah, too right. And what's the what's the area like for like music venues and stuff like that, and getting space to perform? How's that? Particularly,
Yeah.
you know, with licensing laws in music venues and stuff, and being so young, how do you find that yourself getting stage time and stuff?
I mean, there are some times where it's really sad because they're
Yeah.
like, you can have this gig. I'm like, yes. And then they're like, oh, we just saw your website and you're actually 16 and we can't do
Yeah.
that. And I'm like, no, why wouldn't you do that before you told me I
Yeah.
could go?
Oh,
But I mean, there's actually a lot of spaces for, like people that they have like areas for people under 21, or,
mm,
so like I feel like age can be prohibiting, but usually it's not. I mean, the area is super great. It's definitely a very busy area. So sometimes it's tough, but I feel like, especially like in the Boston area, I've had so much fortune and luck in that area. And I'm just really appreciative to have all the gigs I have had. The one thing I really want to do is I would love to open for some more people. Like I've done
mm.
it only a few times and I've only done it kind of as one offs, but I would love to open for someone on part of a tour. I feel like that's like one of my biggest dreams right now. I feel like it'd be so amazing and rewarding, and that would be super exciting. But yeah,
Who
gigs are fun.
who would be like your dream person to
Ugh.
support?
I mean, like dream.
Give
There's
give me like a top five if there's too many.
Oh my gosh. I mean, I feel like for me right now, the biggest one, because I'm obsessed with her voice, is Maggie Rogers. I think that she's just like an otherworldly talent. I would love to open for her. Um, I feel like, especially because he's like from New England, like Noah Khan would be pretty cool. That'd be pretty fun. I would enjoy that a lot. I mean, just honestly though, I gotta be so honest with you, literally anyone who would take me.
Okay,
Uh,
fair enough.
that's the thing. That's my thing, is I would kind of take anyone who would take me. I'd be like, yeah, let's do it. I mean, I would open for
Let's
it.
tag those people onto this interview and see what happens.
Exactly, yeah.
Oh,
Oh, one of my favorite small artists, her name is Yana. She does this acoustic, amazing. Oh my gosh, she's incredible. She's someone who I'd love to open for because I saw her this summer and she's just immaculate. So like she's my girl.
oh, nice, nice, nice. So when I, you know, because we've had a few tunes from you over the years on RGM, and we've been sharing
Yeah.
your music over in the UK. And one thing that struck me, you know, particularly while I was setting up the music premiere that's going to be out on RGM when people are watching this now, is just how accomplished you are for, you know, being so young. A lot of people, you know, just watching how experienced you are on stage and the videos, and you know, just how professional everything looks, and you know, to be so young, it's quite. It, how are you so accomplished? Is the question I'm asking, really.
Well, first of all, thank you. That's a huge compliment. I really appreciate it. I mean, I don't I even know how to start to answer this question. Oh my gosh. I mean, I would say I've sang since I was probably 3 or 4 years
Really?
old.
Okay.
And I've been writing since probably age 9, recording since 11. It started as a school project and it just kind of went from there. And I just feel like it's all about how much time I've been doing it and just kind of like the amount of which I really want this to work for me. I think that's kind of what's pushed me to pursue, trying to go for awards and go for big gigs and go for these things. And just social media is a huge part of it, which for me is a little unfortunate because I find it a little difficult for me to put myself out there on like social media, on TikTok, on
Yeah.
Instagram, but it is super important. I'm getting more comfortable with it. And I feel like that's also a huge, huge part of it. And just, I feel like the more gigs you get, the more gigs you get. So I feel like you have to
Yeah.
start small and really just like work at those and get videos of them. And even if it's a small gig, act like it's your biggest, because, those people are
Yeah.
there to see a good show. And I feel like that's the mentality that kind of can get you farther and can get you to, if you want bigger gigs, that's what you can get if you have the mentality of like, every gig is the most important.
Yeah, sure. And while we're on gigs, talk us through the best experience you've had on stage, and I want the worst as well after, if that's okay.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Um, I would say my favorite on stage experience was I recently did this thing called the River Ruckus, which is this local festival, but thousands of people go to it every year, and I was so excited to do a festival. I played with the best band in the world, and I was on the little jumbotron. It was very exciting, and I really loved it. The people were so receptive, and it was just really cool to be on a stage like that and to perform in front of so many people. And that was like my favorite experience. I would say I don't know if I have a specific least favorite experience. However, there have been some gigs in my life where I've had to just kind of compartmentalize and go 30 more minutes and then we're on to the next one and it's
Yeah.
gonna be okay. Like there are some where it's like there are like five people there and you kind of just gotta be like, that's okay because there are five people who want to see the show. But there's kind of like they're like,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, And there was one recently where oh my gosh, there was a it was like a rainstorm the day of, and I was supposed to perform outside. And also, it was at like a fairgrounds, and the fairgrounds
Okay.
had like a threat that morning. So
Oh,
like people were like, "Oh, it's safe. We cleared the grounds. It's safe. Come to the gig." And I'm like, "Okay." And then it's pouring rain, so I'm like inside in this little area, and I'm
what
like,
what what kind of threat?
it was like a bomb threat. It was
Oh, right.
terrifying.
Okay, got you.
Like,
Oh, God.
but it was so funny because I was like, guys, if you still want to come to my show, it's it's inside and
Yeah.
it's safe, I promise. And yay! I was like,
Okay.
oh my god! I was like, I just gotta get through this to the next one, and it's gonna be okay, and
So
it's
was it just
all
a bit of a
good.
weird vibe while you were playing then? Because people were
Yeah,
still thinking about
yeah.
the, yep, yeah.
Those ones are always interesting, all the ones where or where I have a voice crack, those are so sad because they happen sometimes for singers and they oh my god, they kill me every time that like something happens to like a vocal flub or a guitar flub because it's live music, it happens, stuff like that happens.
Yeah.
But every time I'm like, no, oh man. So just
Guitar,
those
the
are kind of
guitar lead don't work, something like that, or you've got a
yeah,
problem
yeah.
with the PA, something you can't hear yourself, all that kind of stuff.
Oh my gosh, yeah. Those are honestly so scary when you can't hear yourself or you can't hear an instrument and you're like, okay then, that's what we're doing.
Do you ever get nervous or anything like that before going on stage?
I get nervous every single time
Yeah.
I go on stage. I had acute stage fright when I was a kid.
Oh,
Because I could go on stage and do a play. I could
yeah.
do a musical of any kind, but like every time I had to sing as like Ava Valianti as myself, I had the hardest time. And so I had to go to a voice teacher to kind of get over those nerves. But I honestly, before every single performance of any type of performance, really, and anywhere, but especially singing, I get really nervous, but I feel like it's all worth it. Because every time I step out on stage, it immediately dissipates. So I just have to know that, that it's all about the anticipation of it, and that when I'm out there, it's like my favorite thing to do in the world.
Was there a specific technique that you learned to get over it then? Was there a specific thing that was holding you back personally, or is it just a you tell me?
I mean, I think it was all kind of an issue of like confidence within
Yeah.
myself. I would say of just kind of making sure that I was, ready to go out there and give it my all as me, and not as a character I was playing in a musical because I could do that.
Yeah.
I think it was all kind of about prioritizing how I felt and making sure that beforehand I was like, well, I can do this. Like it's a thing that I can do, and my best is good enough, and whatever happens out there happens. Like the uncertainty of it doesn't
Yeah.
matter. Like it's just about performing.
Yeah, that's interesting. You say that if you were doing like musical theatre or something under somebody else's name, that'd be a lot easier than just being yourself.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, it's wild.
Where do you think that comes from deep inside?
I mean, well, the theater part, I'm a theater kid at heart. I mean,
Okay.
that's that part. But I'd say I don't know. I felt like I could kind of like almost like fade into the anonymity of a character and kind of like show my parts of my personality through someone else. But I think that that feeling of almost like isolation when you're up on a stage, it's just you singing your song to some people. It's all kind of on you to really, bring the power and bring the energy and bring all the accuracy. And when I was a kid, that was terrifying. And now it's my favorite thing about it is like it's all on you. So honestly, just like take that moment and and believe in yourself and go for it because it's on you if you mess up and that's okay because you're just trying your best and you're having fun and you're doing something that you feel passionate about and you feel like you're good at. So
Yeah. So do you have a plan B? Because the music industry is quite a ruthless industry to get into and want to succeed in.
yeah.
Do you have a plan B at all?
I mean when I was a kid I had a zillion different options. I was like, I'm gonna be a marine biologist or an astronaut, and I found out they involve math, so I was like, no, thank you. Um,
Yeah.
but I definitely, I think that, I mean, everyone's always told me having a plan B is like, that means you're not going to do it. That means you're not going to do it. If you
Yeah.
have that plan in your head, then you're not going to be able to succeed because you're going to be of two minds about it. And so I want to plan it out as for as long as I can. I'm going to go as hard as I can for music, and it's gonna work because I say it is.
Yeah.
That's the hope. Honestly, whatever happens, happens. And, whatever trajectory my life takes, I'm going to go with it, because honestly, I think that's okay. I think that life is meant to be what it's meant to be. And if it doesn't work out for me in a way that is, like mega pop star successful, that's
Yeah.
okay. I can figure it out. Especially because, I love the idea of, production and, teaching and all those
Mm.
things. Those are all really interesting and they're all still in the music world. But my dream and my passion are, to sing and to create music. So for as long as I can, especially because I was afforded the gift of time when starting so young,
Mm. Yeah.
I think that I want to just go as hard as I can for as long as I can to try and, make
Well,
it.
you don't have to be a stadium artist to have made it in the music industry either, do you? You don't have to put that amount of pressure on yourself. You can still have a long career in music and not and
Mm-hmm.
just play, modest venues and still have a good career in music as well. You don't have to. I suppose the aim is the stadiums in it, I suppose, and the big productions and all that kind of stuff. And why not? You do remind me of somebody from Manchester called Lissy Taylor.
Mm.
Lissy Taylor's just recently just not lost a job. She left a job.
Mm-hmm.
She said a similar kind of thing to yourself. She said, if you don't believe it yourself, it's not going to happen. If you have got a plan B, which was for her was working, she dropped it and she's gone full time and she's just signed a major record deal. So you've got to have that belief, and you've got to you're right with the plan B thing. I think if you're going to go for it, go for it. Don't do it half-assed and just do the best you can, I suppose.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think it's the most important thing to do is just believe in yourself and to, try and have that plan A be as, as sturdy as it can be and just really go for it.
Yeah. So where do you see yourself? And it's a similar kind of question, I suppose. Where do you see yourself in the next 5 years or so?
Well, I'd say that if
You'll be
if
21.
oh
So
God,
that's a long. It's 5 years is a long time.
yeah,
I know.
that's
I'm thinking
crazy.
like when you're in your 20s and stuff. What do you think? What's the aim for when you're in your 20s? Just to make it more broader.
I would say number one, be able to cook more than a grilled cheese. That's one.
Okay.
Um, Number two, I would say I'm probably gonna go to college, because I think that it's important to have an
Yeah.
education. Obviously, again, like music is the path, so if something arises, and that's totally awesome and amazing. Um, but I would say, to be completely honest, I just want my music to reach as many people as possible. So like that's always been my goal is to just have my music and the messages with my music reach as many people as it can and like kind of touch as many hearts as possible.
Yeah.
So if that happens, then that's kind of the dream. And if it hasn't happened by then, my hope is that it's on its way there. So
Yeah.
that's the hope. And then I'm just always, pursuing music as part of my life and, acting and photography and just the arts in general because they're like just everything to me. The arts are just incredible.
What is your? And I appreciate this could change over the next few years, but what is the message of Ava as of today? What do you want to say?
Ooh, whoa, that's a great question. There are so many things I always want to say. I talk way too much, but I think that the message of Ava Valianti for the people today is I think the biggest one is like to kind of embrace all of the imperfections and mess of, growing up and realizing that like it's okay to, find that you might have, like lost people on the way or be confused about where you are in your life, like all those things, all those feelings that I always thought were kind of wrong and sad and so horrible. Those things are all natural and those things are going to come and just to always kind of look for the positive. That's corny, but it's
Yeah.
true, like look at the beautiful silver linings because we get to wake up every day and be in this beautiful world and
Yeah.
I don't know, that's kind of I feel like I hope my songs kind of convey that like it's okay to feel really lost sometimes, and it's also okay to find yourself again. I don't know.
No, I like that. And me personally, I kind of like I've stopped watching the news and that kind of stuff. It's just too depressing. I try and let like live in the moment a little bit more and just appreciate what's around me now rather than all the noise that you see on the news and politics and all that bullshit that goes on in
Yeah.
the world.
Hmm.
Yeah, nice words, mate.
Thank you.
I resonate with that. Hold on. So you've got a big EP coming out as well, Ava. Do you want to tell us all about that?
Yes. Yeah, my EP Petunias. It's out now and it's
Mm,
one of my favorite things I've ever done. Yeah, it's 7 songs, 4 songs that are already released and well, actually they're all released now, but
mm,
4 songs that were already released as singles and 3 new ones. And yeah, it's one of my favorite things ever. I created it because I mean, I really love petunias. They were always my favorite flower. Everyone would always be like, my favorite flower is roses, my favorite flower is tulips. Like, I'm always like, petunias. And everyone's like, oh. But I think they're really gorgeous. They're kind of like a common flower. They're like ordinary, but they're really beautiful. And just like, that's always kind of how I felt about like my songs as well, because I felt like they were more than meets the surface. And I always feel like it was just really it was fitting for me to kind of put that in. And I found all these videos of me when I was a kid talking about how much I love petunias, and I ended up including that in the album. And yeah, just it came together over this year, and I'm just so immensely proud of it and proud of all the work that my producers and my masters did and everyone and like my distributors. And it's just so incredible to kind of put a body of work out there because it's my first time I've ever done something like this. It's not just singles. And I really hope that people, when they listen to it, they feel kind of a spring vibe because that's kind of what I wanted, even though I put out in fall. And I just, yeah, I don't know. It makes me really, really happy to see that it's out there and to see that it's already, gaining support. I really, really appreciate it.
Yeah, what kind of pressure do you put on yourself for it to do certain things? Like, everybody wants a number one day, don't they? But do you put any pressure on yourself for positions and that kind of stuff? How do you like how do you judge how well things have gone yourself?
I mean, I always put way too much pressure on myself just in
Yeah.
every aspect of my life, but that's okay. I'd say that my family, my friends are here to, balance me out and they're here to help me out along the way. But I'd say the thing is, just kind of the feedback more than anything is kind of how I kind of value like how it's doing. Because I mean, the numbers are, yeah, sure, the numbers are important, and that's exciting and everything. But I'd say it's the feedback that really like makes me happy. Like not necessarily like that my opinion of my songs depends on other people, but the creation of music is selfish, and then I think putting it out there should be selfless. Like I feel like you should do it for the world and so that people can relate to you and feel something deeply or think about something differently. So I feel like that's for me what art is. Like I create it to process my own thoughts and feelings
Yeah.
and then I put it out there to give it to other people, and that's kind of I think the most important thing to do. So, if people receive it well, that just makes me so happy. It makes my heart so full. And also just like the kind of belief within myself that we did a great job, that's a huge thing.
Well, what I'm going to do, I'm going to put a link to the description to your new video, Running on Empty. That's going to just come out on RGM now as we're speaking. The EP is going to be out soon on RGM soon. I've been chasing that. I'm just waiting for the reviewer to come in to tell us how ace it is. Within the link, there'll be a link within the description of this video, Ava. Okay. So if people are hovering over that link and they haven't pressed it yet, what would you say to those people, mate?
Well, one, please go listen to it, but
Yeah.
also if you don't want to, that's totally okay. I would just say that I have a bunch of different songs for everyone. If you like a lot of different genres, if you're a sad pop, if you're like an indie person, if you like pop rock, if you
Yeah.
want just like summery pop, lots of pop in there. But
Right about.
if you like a lot of those different things, I'm definitely the artist for you. And yeah, I just really hope that everyone listens to it and takes something away from it that they didn't before. So
Oh, well, it's been really nice getting to know you. I know you've got a busy day ahead of you and you've got things on next and you're at school and you've got a full day ahead of you. Exciting times. Let's hook up again in another couple of years or something and see how it's all going. What about that, mate?
amazing. I love that.
Oh, nice one, nice one. So yeah, thanks for joining us today, and thanks for everybody for watching our edition of this RGym Experience podcast. It's always a pleasure that you stick with us all the way up to the end. Everybody appreciates it. Thank you. Give us a subscribe, will you? I hate doing this, the begging stuff, but people, you just have to sometimes, don't you? And Ava, all the best. Enjoy the rest of your day, mate. And I'm rooting for you. I think you're a really talented girl, and I just wish you all the best for everything that you've got coming over the following years, mate.
Thank you.